the man who had everything but denied God. In a land blessed with rich soil and long seasons of sunlight, there lived a man who believed he understood life better than anyone around him. His name was Ezekiel. He was wealthy beyond measure, not by inheritance, but by years of careful planning, hard work, and what he believed was pure intelligence. Ezekiel owned vast farmlands that stretched farther than the eye could see. Each planting season brought abundance. His barns were always full, his livestock multiplied, and his storehouses overflowed with food. His home was lively, filled with the laughter of children and the warmth of a wife who lacked nothing. At night, his house glowed with light while others nearby sat quietly in the dark. Because of this, Ezekiel believed there was no God. He often said that if a God truly existed, then life would not be so uneven. Yet here he was, prospering without prayer, thriving without faith. While others who claimed to believe in God struggled daily. Around him lived men and women who prayed faithfully but owned little. Some had no children despite years of longing. Some had no spouse, no land, no joy. Others worked the soil with hope, only to watch their crops wither before harvest. Still, they believed. Ezekiel observed them with curiosity at first, then with quiet mockery. He would ask them why their God had not rewarded them for their faith. He spoke gently, but his words carried pride. In his heart, he concluded that faith was a comfort for the weak, and belief in God was simply a way to explain failure. As years passed, Ezekiel's success grew. His wealth increased, his influence expanded, and his confidence turned into arrogance. He began to believe that he was untouchable. During gatherings, surrounded by food and laughter, he would boldly declare that human effort was the only power that mattered. He said there was no invisible hand guiding life, no divine judge watching from above. If there were such a being, Ezekiel believed, his own success would have been impossible. But life has a way of speaking when words fail. One season, one of Ezekiel's fields did not produce as expected. He dismissed it as chance. Then another field failed. Soon, a strange sickness spread among his livestock. Workers who had never fallen ill before became weak. Ezekiel remained calm. He trusted logic. He trusted control. He trusted himself. Then his youngest child fell gravely ill. For the first time, fear entered his heart. Still, Ezekiel refused to pray. He refused to ask for help from a God he had denied for so long. Days passed, and losses increased. A fire destroyed one of his barns. Money began to drain faster than it came in. Friends who once surrounded him slowly disappeared. The land that once obeyed him no longer responded to his effort. One night, alone on the dry soil that had once fed his pride, Ezekiel broke. His strength failed him. His certainty collapsed. He cried out, not in prayer, but in frustration. He demanded proof. He demanded answers. And in that moment of complete emptiness, he realized something he had never understood before. His wealth had never been proof that God did not exist. It had only been permission for him to ignore God. When Ezekiel recovered, he was no longer the man he had been. He did not regain all his wealth. His land was smaller, his influence reduced, and his life simpler. But his heart was changed. For the first time, he listened to the believers he once mocked. He understood that faith was not a transaction for blessings, but a relationship rooted in humility. Ezekiel learned that God is not measured by prosperity, and God is not disproven by suffering. Some believe and suffer. Some deny and prosper. But neither condition removes the existence of God. In the end, Ezekiel lost much of what the world values, but he gained peace, understanding, and faith.